La la la, hey, hey, yeah, yeah.
Well, you'll have to wait one more segment for Enchanted Tea. I was just giving you a teaser. We're going to talk about something very important because as our population begins to age, more and more seniors want to stay at home. They want to live at home longer, and there is a great service out there provided by Home Instead Senior Care. We're joined by owner Leslie Sullivan. Leslie, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. And I would imagine in your experience, you're seeing this. I mean, every single person, probably the biggest thing as they grow older is they start to worry, are they going to be able to live at home and sustain that lifestyle? How do you go about providing that with your company?
We have about 100 caregivers that are working for us who can go into the homes of seniors. They can take them to random appointments. We can take care of them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Usually what we're providing is light housekeeping, meal preparation, medication reminders, and sometimes it's just plain companionship, and it can just grow and grow from there.
Right, and that's a great comfort, I think, to a senior as well as the family members as well, because there's a sandwich generation now.
Exactly.
Parents who are being taken care of by their children who are also parents, and so the people in between are very much pressed. Do you think that this type of service is something that we're seeing even more of now, the need for it at least, because of that sandwich generation?
Oh, exactly. And you're seeing a lot more families that are spread apart. So, for instance, my mother lives in Burlington. I live in Ottawa. My brother lives in Boston. Right. If something happens to her, we need someone in Burlington to take care of her.
Absolutely. There's a sense of anxiety, not just with the senior, but with
it's
the family members.
Their family
because
member.
we're all over the place now. And you have come up with a great emergency kit for seniors. Tell us about this kit and what it entails.
Sure. Well, we provide family education resources to family caregivers. So 2 to 3 times a year we'll come out with a new program. And this one came up as a result of marketing research that we did through the Boomer Project. So they talked to 290 Canadians who said they were going to take care of their parents in the next 10 years. Right. So they were asked, do you know anything about your parents' medical condition? Do you know about the medications they're on? Do you have their contact information? And what we found was 40% didn't know anything about the medical conditions of their parents. Over 50 didn't know what medications they were on. And over 50 didn't know where wills were, powers of attorney, basic contact information. So we put together the kit, which is it's a means of tracking all that information. So there are various segments to it. Basic contact information.
Right.
It goes above and beyond, like who's your doctor, who's your neighbor. Talks about subscriptions. If your mother ends up in the hospital, you want to stop the newspapers from being delivered to her door. I actually presented this to a group of ladies last week, and they thought about computer passwords, which I hadn't thought of.
Because they're so diverse, too, because everyone wants your password to be different, right across the board. You might be a member of 17 different sites and have 17 different passwords. These are things that people forget. And that's why you've put this together. Yeah. What other things are sort of on the task list that people at home should be thinking about?
Medication tracking.
Right.
And this is an interesting one because I said my mom lives in Burlington. We also have a sort of a wallet card that goes along with this.
Right.
And I realized if anything happened to my mother, I wouldn't know anything about her medical condition. So I sent her 2 wallet cards and I said, fill one out for you and keep it. Send one back to me. Now, she's relatively healthy, but she came back with 3 conditions that I was unaware of. And the list of medications went beyond the card with an additional set of, so I keep that in my wallet now and I'm aware. And you have to keep us up to date too. So we recommend every 6 months or so you update the information.
Leslie, do you recommend people have 2 of these, say one with the senior and perhaps one with a family member?
Definitely the kit in the senior's home, but the emergency cards are great, particularly if you're living remotely from your parents.
Right.
And when should parents or when should children start thinking about perhaps getting one of these for their parents?
Now.
I guess it's never too early, really.
No,
right?
no.
You don't have to necessarily be in your 80s before you start thinking about something
exactly.
like this.
I mean, something can happen to you anytime. So it's best to have that information on hand. Make sure your family members have that information on hand.
This kit and information available on your website?
It is.
Excellent.
So it's homeinsteadottawa.ca. We also have a website called senioremergencykit.com where you can download the information. There's also, I don't have it, there's also a fridge sort of an emergency contact list for the fridge that can be put on and updated at any time. And you can get all the update sheets on the SeniorEmergencyKit.com site. So
You guys are thinking of everything.
we try.
Excellent. Leslie, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. As Leslie said, visit the website to find out more information.